then what?
Then what?
But then what?
But then what? But then what? Woohoo! Welcome to our fun, crazy stream. This is our first time doing this, and this is a new show. It's from my brain. It's called But Then What? I'm not alone. I have two awesome folks with me. One of them is Adam. The other one
Well,
is
hello.
Daniel.
Hello.
What?
It's me.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yes. We're here to
By the way,
What?
do you want other voice clips of like every guest on the show saying "but then what" after the first episode to like splice them all
absolutely.
in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
100%. And then it can be a sound that we play. What at the end, but then what? But then what? But then what? I made that during lunch today. So I hope you enjoyed
Nice.
the simplicity and DIY factor of that video. Well, cool. We're here to play the story game. I don't know if y'all have ever done this. I've done it around many a campfire. It's sort of an improv game that I think maybe I played because I'm a lame theater child. The premise of the game is that we're going to use a website. We're going to randomly generate a protagonist, a secondary character, and a plot that we have to follow.
Ooh. Okay.
Then we are going to have to, as a group, tell the story. However, I'm going to have a 3-minute timer. We have to go around the room to tell the story, and only one person can speak for the whole 3 minutes. Then pass it on to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. If this evolves, I see that chat is going to be able to like stop and switch it to the next person with a certain amount of bits or rewards and all of these fun, crazy chaos shenanigans that are improv.
How are we gonna know what to do?
That's the joy. We're not.
The
We just have to
joy.
keep speaking.
Let me clarify. If the chat does change something, what are the indicators for us to stop speaking and the next person to start speaking or something?
That is a dream for the future of But Then What? We
Okay,
are not
cool.
set up for that tonight.
Good.
Tonight, it's just the three of us telling a story.
Cool. Can do.
So, the first thing we have to do is randomly generate our story. So,
I need to get off for a moment.
yeah, go for it.
I will be back in a bit.
I'm gonna share my screen. And we are going to, Adam and I, generate our story. Okay.
Whoa.
So we have some options. What kind of story are you feeling for tonight? We can do a drama, a fantasy, a mystery, a romance, or a sci-fi.
Can we randomly generate that too?
Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it. Just full chaos. Full send.
Full chaos. Okay. We're just going to click random. Ready?
All right.
Okay. A gentleman thief who has an eye for opportunity. Our protagonist. Our secondary character. An esper. What the fuck is an esper?
It's a psychic. It's someone who can mind read.
Fuck yes. Okay. Yeah. An esper who is well-meaning. And the plot is a robot fiction story about hubris. It kicks off in limbo with the sentence, "What a surprise it was to open the door and come face to face with the Lord of the Galaxy." And that is about as much of it as we're going to use. We're not going to use the other parts because that's just too much.
The Earth hasn't already died once in this story? Whoa.
If you are a writer and you ever just want inspiration, this is the Reedsy plot generator. I use this sometimes for one shots.
Wow.
So it's a robot fiction novel about hubris that kicks off in limbo. I'm also gonna say no to that sentence. I think we can start it however.
No
we
to the
want.
what?
That recommended first sentence.
Oh, I think that's such an interesting place to start, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do we start there? That's
I
the
don't
whole.
know.
That's so. I'm curious. I'm saying this assuming that I'm not going first and don't have to deal with it.
We are gonna roll for initiative
Oh.
to see the order of speaking.
Okay.
And then yeah, we got this at the top of our screen.
Whoa. The technology.
The technology. I'm gonna stop sharing because it's up there now.
Story about hubris.
Okay, I'm
Interesting.
scared. How?
Kicks off in limbo.
What is Daniel?
Oh, but we don't have the
back
starting
to?
sentence anymore.
Oh, I got it. What a
Oh, okay.
surprise it was to open the door and come face to face with the Lord of the Galaxy.
Are we rolling like real dice or are we rolling like digital dice?
Whatever, I don't care. I gotta find one myself. I'm just gonna go digital.
Okay.
This is so ad hoc, viewers. Like, I've been talking about running this show for a while, and I asked Adam at like noon, and I asked Daniel like 40 minutes ago.
What? Wonderful. Beautiful. I feel like this is the energy that this show should always have.
I know, right? Okay,
Very much what?
I'm rolling a d20. Ooh, I got a 5.
You got a 5? All right, I'm rolling. That's a whopping 19 for me.
Ooh, you might be first.
Oh. All right.
Mine's digital. Mine's on the D&D Beyond. Okay. It kicks off in limbo. Why is a robot in limbo? This is so fascinating.
Can you write that first sentence in the Discord so I could see it? So I know how to start.
I'll also put it in the chat.
I shouldn't assume because Daniel could roll the natural 20.
It could.
Or Hedril. Oh, does he want to be called Hedril? Did I already mess up?
I don't know. I was calling him Daniel as well.
It's the Hedril wordsmith, by the way, if you guys didn't know. He's got his own stuff going on.
Hedril? I thought it was Hedril.
Is it Hedril? I'm just messing up all over the place.
We don't know anything, chat. Viewers.
I absolutely cannot hear you when you whisper. Perfect. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just cleverly pausing while our friend returns from the quick AFK.
Yeah. How was your day, Adam?
A robot fiction story.
NaNoWriMo going for you?
It's going well. I've just been script writing, which is a new thing that I haven't been doing because I have an idea for a video I want to try to record. And instead of just improvising all the time, having a script is really helpful because it helped organize all of my thoughts. And the more I think about it, the more thoughts came onto the paper. So I might have to edit a lot of it out. It ended up being pretty long.
You just make it multiple episodes.
But it should be fun. Yeah. I mean, I guess keep an eye out for that. It's going to pertain to D&D math that you might not know about. That should be helpful so you don't have to do it.
Ew.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. My math nerds in chat.
On your math book.
Got it?
Oh, man. Esper. How did you learn the word Esper? Just in your readings of life?
Well, it goes back further than it, but in Pokemon X and Y, there was a cat Pokemon named Espurr with like two R's, like it's a cat that's purring. That's just a psychic type that has really big eyes that look in different directions.
That's adorable.
And it like is just constantly trying to keep its mind from making everyone around it explode. So
Too powerful.
Yeah.
Too much.
But also, just doing reading about ESP, because of course I went through a phase where I was super interested in that. There is a surprising amount of literature out on it in the field of psychology.
Sight being a seer of some kind.
Yeah, there was a big push for it. I think I'm terrible with dates, but I think it was like in the 70s. There was a big government push to seeing if claims of ESP were real, because if they were and people were capable of remote viewing, it would be a huge tactical advantage in the field of spy work. So there was government funded lab tests through the field of psychology to study ESP and
That makes sense.
remote viewing specifically.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And then it got, no one was able to show that they could accurately pose any sort of ESP readings. And now, if you try to do any kind of science around that field, you basically get shut down by the community. But
Ghostbusters!
it's really weird. Apparently, like some people have done tests on it. Like I had one psych professor who was like, "Oh yeah, there were these recent studies that actually had like significant data correlation into it, but they were shot down because the subject topic was like a little taboo for the community." So,
Loch Ness Mobster, you made it into the chat.
whoa!
Success! If y'all are just tuning in, we are waiting on Daniel to come back from off camera. We have generated our improv story. That is the ticker above our heads. And once we start and we get Daniel's D20 roll for initiative, we'll be going around with 3 minutes apiece on a nifty timer to let us know how long we have to tell the story. Then we're going to pass it to the next person in the initiative order. Super fun, right?
Yeah. I almost want to grab a piece of paper so I could remember names that people create on the spot, but I think that takes
Adam.
away from the nature of the story. So I'm going first, so I'm going to create all of the names.
Daniel could roll a nat 20.
He could. That is a possibility. Also, if you're just joining in, our protagonist is a gentleman thief who has an eye for opportunity. Mm-hmm. His supporting character is an Esper who is well-meaning, and it's a robot fiction story about hubris. It kicks off in
hubris?
limbo.
Should we educate the chat on what the word hubris means?
Hubris!
I know the feeling it invokes within me, but I also think of someone's elbow.
Shout out to Travis. He knows who he is. We talk about hubris all the time. It's excessive pride or self-confidence.
It is. That is the definition. You beat me to it.
And it fits so well initially if our plot's about our gentleman thief who starts out face to face with the Lord of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
that's a story already about
hubris.
This
is a start. This is a strong. How do we go up from here?
Oh, we'll see. I mean, we're. That's why I love that you already have him at a 20. This is a tactical stall by our friend. He's giving me enough time to conceptualize a start.
It is pretty tactical. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just word vomiting to be the entertainment that we are as we stream.
Sounds good. He's back!
Greetings.
Greetings! We have generated our plot. It is on the ticker above our heads.
It's a robot fiction story about hubris. It kicks off in limbo. Our protagonist is a gentleman thief who has an eye for opportunity. And our secondary character is an Esper who is well-meaning.
I want you to know that my intention with this show is for it to go off the rails. So
Yeah, immediately.
no one can be
100%
bad at this.
right away.
I don't know if I have a good definition for Esper in my head.
A
I did not
psychic.
either. A psychic.
Thank you.
Someone
Okay.
with psychic telekinetic abilities.
I
Okay.
need you to roll a d20. We're rolling initiative to see who goes first. And I want you to know that Mobster in the chat is blessed your dice.
Really?
Bless.
What does that mean?
So you can roll with advantage and take lower or higher, depending
I
on
think-
when you want to go in the order.
What I shall do is a shameless plug for Crown and Bow Dice, who makes amazing mimic D20s.
Amy!
Look at these. Thank you, Amy. I'm gonna roll with advantage
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and we'll see which mimic bites me. The apple mimic is the one that bit me with a 17.
Okay. You're going to go second.
Okay.
And Adam is going to start us off with the story, the sentence
All right.
that was provided. Once that pops up, we
My
will
time.
have a special sound. Your
Oh.
time's up. Should we make it less? Should we
No.
make it a gasp? Should it be the air horn or the gasp? Or chant?
I don't usually jump very easy, so well done, Sierra.
I didn't mean to make you jump.
No, I was
Right.
for some reason I was like expecting like a ding or something. But anyway,
No dings.
I like the air horn.
All right.
I'm partial
let's
to
use the air horn. If
All
anyone
right.
else jumps, it'll make me feel better.
Timer is starting now.
What a surprise it was to open the door and come face to face with the Lord of the Galaxy. Our protagonist saunters into the room. At his hip, 2 daggers, his cyborg legs clinking on the ever marble scape that is limbo itself. In every direction extends nothing but this inky white abyss, except for the door behind him, which he so casually stepped through. Sitting upon the throne before him is a towering form that you cannot see. It extends into the abyss above and below. Our protagonist, nothing but a little speck of dust on the big toe of this massive form. His goal is simple: to grab the crystal that rests beside the throne of the Lord of the Galaxy. As he walks in, surely thinking that he is unnoticed, there is a wave, a shock that goes to his very core, and he feels his form starting to distort. As there's a rumble within his mind, words that aren't there, things that are spoken but unheard, things that become real even as they cease to exist. The Lord of the Galaxy is not a man to be easily trifled with, and our protagonist may have bitten off a little more than he could chew, as the small, clear, ringing voice cuts through this nothingness in his mind, his partner in crime, his Esper extraordinaire. Luna. Malcolm! Have you found the crystal? Malcolm shakes his head, his long mane of black curly hair drifting around him, his green eyes piercing, as he's able to look through the nothingness, the chaoticness of this realm around him, seeing that it is now shaped and reformed. The nothingness, the white landscape before him shakes away to this bare wooden block cabin in the middle of the woods. His goal fully out of sight, but his form intact, thankfully unbroken by the Lord of the Galaxy. He has only a certain amount of time to make it out. This he knows. So he takes a couple steps, and the wood creaks and echoes. He shakes his arm loose, hearing the rust and crink of the metallic cyborg jaunts that haven't been oiled in quite some time. He gives himself.
That's it. That's the Daniel.
As Malcolm adjusts his arm, the setting having changed, he stops for a moment as his arm sort of catches and is stuck. He's standing on the porch to the cabin. He looks around. Then as he looks over to his shoulder, the tiny figure of a metallic spider just sort of crawls up and out of his arm. His little Esper friend, whose name I don't remember,
Yes.
cuts into his mind with that sweet little voice. Don't worry, Malcolm, I'll fix it. I promise. And then there's a little scuttling back into the arm, drilling sound, a whirring, a clicking, and then his arm starts moving again, flexing his fingers. He sees the door in front of him to this cabin. Could it be locked? Could it be? His thoughts go back to the crystal. Start to get fuzzy as he remembers the nothingness and the confusion, the muddling of the mind from the Lord of the Galaxy. Takes a mechanically assisted breath and steady his nerves as he sort of twists his index finger and it sort of clicks backward on itself. Not unlike sort of an Inspector Gadget situation. A tiny little tool takes the place of his finger and he goes and starts to see if it's locked. It is. But then there's a gooey sensation coming from the door and his hand is stuck and his little Esper friend starts to scuttle down his arm and back up his arm and everything starts to vibrate. That mental force of the Lord of the Galaxy coming back for a moment and he starts to collapse onto his knees. From inside the hut. Come back when you can, little one. The mind starts to melt. There's
But then what? But then what? Oh God, now it's my turn. Okay. His mind starts to melt as this cackling infiltrates his brain. And Luna crawls around. Malcolm, 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 stay with me, stay with me. She crawls up to where his human ear still resides on his head. Malcolm, Malcolm, Malcolm. He falls forward onto the door, sliding down until his belly's on the ground. And both of them kind of melt into the disappearing ether of limbo, falling falling till they land on a cloud. That cloud gently turns into a hand. The hand sets them down. Malcolm looks around, unsure of how much time has gone by. He looks up towards a large mountain. He swears he sees the flash of the stone at the top, almost held by some sort of mechanism there. Luna, I'm not sure. I know I have to do this for my family, for what he did to me. But I don't know the way to the top of the mountain. And Luna, being ever motivational. It's okay, Malcolm, you can do it. I'm right here. I can see you walking through trees. Entrance is under a waterfall. It's not far. It's not hard. You can. Malcolm picks himself up. His right foot hangs, just sort of broken circuits from metal, and Luna scurries down, using the welding mechanisms on her tiny spider legs to put him back together. And soon enough, they're on their way. Up a beach, the sand squishing under the metal of his feet, and through the trees. For about 20 minutes they walk, until they hear a slight crunch of a branch in the distance. Malcolm whirls his head around. I can't see what it is. Why can't I see what it is? Why can't I see? Luna frantically calling from his shoulder. Malcolm whirls in a circle, his sword out, his daggers in the other hand. So we go to Adam.
Daggers in the other hand, and he pauses. He breathes. He's been trained for this. He knows that if he doesn't see it, then it's not there. He hears Luna's guiding voice inside of his mind, and he knows and he remembers that he's been here, in this forest, in this place, in this break. This was the world where he started, the place where it all began, the source of his first calamity, where he first lost his human leg. As he closes his eyes and he looks within, he throws his daggers out deftly. They slam into a tree of wood, of nothing more. When he opens his eyes, he is before the waterfall. Luna, how is it that you know that the path is here in the waterfall? Luna crawls up onto his shoulders. We've been here before. We know the way. Malcolm takes a deep sigh. He retrieves his daggers and he walks through the roaring, pulsing waves. As the wake crashes down before him, he takes everything that he can just to keep his balance, but he shoves his way through. Walks inside the cavern, a long stone-etched spiral staircase going within, building into a tunnel that disappears into darkness. Knowing that this is his goal, cracks his neck a couple times and begins to walk up. Luna, what do you remember of the old world? There's nothing but silence inside Malcolm's mind. Luna, refusing to answer him, maybe unable to. A lapse in memory. Something lost. Continues to make his way up the stairs and up the caverns. As he does, he can't help but feel parts of himself slowly beginning to get torn away. wisps of memories as he walks up this round, ever spiraling stone staircase. He looks at the wall and he sees his memories plastered before it. A small town, a wooden hut, a vast grove of trees. He walks a few more steps. A crack in the woods, a look to the side, the cyborg, a robot, blazing through the path. He walks up a few more steps. And he feels the hit in the back of his spine, collapsing to the ground, the world going dark.
The whirling sensation of displaced vertigo
Oh.
overcomes. Oh, am I muted?
No, you're good.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Right.
Okay. There's a violence and a visceral sensation to this memory. Malcolm's heart, like his lungs, have been assisted since that moment, that snick to his spinal cord. He can practically feel the viscera tearing and the vertigo tumbling to the ground. And as he looks up, the vision seems to go dark to a tunnel. He can see the cyborg, mostly metal with some scraps of human skin left over, its jaw distended teeth like little drills spiraling out. The hand exaggerated, sharp. And there's that same laugh. Join us, little one. The drilling sound fills his ears as he can feel the viscera of his body get torn apart bit by bit. The pain starts to take over. Malcolm, come back. You've been here before. This isn't real, Malcolm. It's through the waterfall. It's up the stairs. Come on, Malcolm, get up. The drilling sound starts to fade away. Malcolm can feel something bubbling up within him, and he opens his eyes back on those stone stairs. The memories flickering on and off like holograms, ephemeral. And he puts a hand on the cold stone, pushes himself up as Luna skitters back up his arm into his ear.
It's the perfect amount of time. I'm so happy. Luna skitters back up his arm. This time, in his mind for real. Malcolm hears a voice and a glimmering shadow in front of him. Sounds. Malcolm? Malcolm? Is that you? Malcolm? He ascends a few stairs, and there, seated on the first spiral, is a small girl, resembling him rather closely. Luna says, "No, Malcolm, no, this isn't real." For the first time, he looks directly at Luna on his shoulder and says, "This is Limbo." She may be in limbo. Malcolm? Malcolm! Help! I'm stuck! I'm stuck here! He takes a step up the stairs. Luna, Malcolm, no! No! This is a trap! You've overcome 2 so far, 3, maybe even. Let's keep going. Malcolm, in his pride to want to help his family, his sister, to redeem them, walks towards the child. And as he does so, she rips apart, her mouth stretching open, her limbs glowing with this red purple light, till she just raises off the ground, her head towards the sky, her feet and legs hanging limp, her arms outstretched like a star. Malcolm, Malcolm, this isn't real. Please, please listen to me. He grabs his daggers once more. He goes to stab her in the heart, but when he does, it disappears. A shattering of beautiful rainbow stones falls to the ground in front of him, rolling loudly down the bottom of the stairs. He clutches the wall. I have to help them, he says to Luna on his shoulder. I know, but you have to remember, we need the stone. We need the stone.
But then what?
But then what, Adam?
We need the stone. 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 Luna's voice echoes into his mind. As Malcolm looks down towards those rolling rainbow stones and can't help but himself go back down the stairs. Less than he is taken to get up, he just rounds the corner and he's back in that room. His room. Luna's room. They shared it as children. And Luna's there picking up the rainbow blocks and stacking them high. Hey, brother, here, come help. Come help. Malcolm stands stunned for a moment and revels in his old room. How many years has it been since he's been back? That overwhelming urge to stay, to relive the memories, sinks deep within him. He goes down the stairs and he sits opposite his sister and he starts building blocks with her. Just in quiet, remembering this moment. Malcolm? Yeah? How long are you going to be away? Malcolm puts up a half smile and goes, It'll be really quick, Luna. Just a very, very quick trip. I'll be back soon. Promise. You know me, I always keep my promises. The cackle comes from Luna's voice as the tower melts and disturbs down. The red-black distending limbs grow full and long from sister's form as she grabs him and throws him down through it. And he begins to fall. Through this void of nothingness, Malcolm falls once more. Darkness, blood, fire. That home that he was in rubbles and ruins, the explosions, the cracking, the great departure. He remembers it all as he falls down and only barely hears the faintest voice calling out to him, distantly like a vague echo. Malcolm, Malcolm, Malcolm. Real, real. Stone.
But then what?
Help. 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 Darkness. Sirens. Flashes of memory and fire. The great departure. Ash. It wasn't a departure. It was an arrival. An arrival of a point in time when humanity's greatest hope became its greatest hubris. The cracking of bone, the molding of flesh, the joining to the great consciousness, the Lord of the galaxy. They took his sister first. BAM! Malcolm feels pain. Shattered limbs. He's fallen onto some sort of surface and he tries to open his eyes, but his senses are somehow being deprived. There is only an adrenaline rush. He can't seem to breathe, but the memories are flooding through him. The final gate, the stone, flashing of rainbow colors, numbers, code, zeros and ones, teeth, claws, cries for help. And then there's a glimmer of light somewhere in his mind. He's the last one. He's the one who can take the stone. Malcolm Stone. A name, identity.
An identity he never wanted. Looks up, finds himself on the spiral stairs. Continues up. Luna, how much time do we have? I don't know what time is even anymore here. Not long. He decides to walk more briskly, not caring about the noise that he makes. As he ascends to the top of the spiral stairs and looks across the long bridge over the water he just went up and over. And on the other side, there's a large stone carving. It has a hollowed out tunnel that you can see, and the stone, as large as an elephant, is hovering above the top of the building, just hanging there. He breaks into a run, moving across, and sure enough, he knew there was a guardian. Not just the Lord of the Galaxy, but someone else. and they swing up through the bottom arches of the bridge, over on top. A hulking giant form with static sparkling from its eroding electric wiring. Splashes of water coming off its body and flinging across the bridge. It wields a large scythe. Iridescent, almost like a CD. Looks towards Malcolm. Luna whispers again, "It's not real." Malcolm says, "It sure seems real. I can't fight them." He looks down at his daggers. "I'm on my last wires. What am I? We're so close, Luna. I'm so close to having you back, Luna." He yells towards the creature. Fuck.
And he steals his resolve, lowers himself, and he runs towards it. The scythe pulls back and slashes in towards him. At the very last moment, his instincts take over and he flips over the top, jumping onto the hilt of this large scythe, and he runs up it. And as he goes to vault over the creature, his hands pass through. Nothing's there. He trips, slides, and falls, slamming his back against the hard stone behind him, skidding to a stop. And he sits there for a moment, takes his mechanically aided breaths, and stares up at the ceiling above. Steels himself, goes to a knee, stands. It's a lot harder now for him to move. Being down to the last wire, taking that last fall, the energy's not making it to his extremities. He's physically having to pull each leg as he moves up the stairs. And he can't help but think of his decisions that got him to this moment. All of those choices he made, the confidence he had, the confidence everyone had. Joining the change. Clunk! Foot falls on the step. Picks up his other leg and he moves it forward. Clunk! It's everything in his body just to continue to move forward. Luna quietly urging him forward. He takes another step and he turns the corner and he sees it. The intricate doorway that leads to the top, the place he has to go, the one place he was meant to be. And here at the final stretch, it is nothing but his own limitation that's keeping him from moving forward. The failure of his extremities, the lack of engineering. And he can't help but stop, flicking open one of his fingers once more, taking out some tools, and frustratingly working as quickly as he can, just seconds from the finish line. Sparks fly as he solders one piece to another. The pain is immense. The cruel pain that they left him with. Something that they could have gotten rid of. They said it would make him lack humanity.
They said it would make him lack humanity. Humanity. The cackling comes back. Obsessively, Malcolm continues to solder, taking one of his daggers. He begins to carve off some of the flesh on his thigh to make room for an improvement. Luna's voice. Malcolm. What's become of you, Malcolm? We can't be stopped. Convergence is nigh. Finally, the last shred of identity. The Malcolm Stone that was the prodigy child of galaxy systems. The company, the entity that promised a better future for all of mankind. Standing in an office above a cityscape. A tiny, tiny disc in the palm of his hand. Nothing will stop Malcolm Stone. Now he can feel the air hoarse in his throat as he realizes that the laugh has been his all along. Luna, the prototype AI. His first project. Kill it. Somehow Malcolm manages to look at the door. Its intricacy, its beauty, beyond imagining.
Malcolm? I know you can hear me still. We have to get to the stone. Malcolm? Malcolm, I forgive you. Do you hear me? I forgive you. With that, the office that Malcolm's mind had him in cracks and shatters and falls to the ground as once again he sees a small child in front of him standing by this door. We can do it together. I'll help, see? And she pushes on the door and it opens. He takes the remainder of the stairs to the top. Doesn't even think to look for the spider. Just following blindly after this small child. I'm so sorry, Luna. How could I? I'm sorry. It's okay. I forgive you, and you're gonna make it better, right? You're gonna make it better. You know what to do. As Malcolm steps closer to this huge stone, the energy holding it up into the air brings it down. You see that it's rounded at the top, almost like a basin. It's okay, Malcolm. You can come be with us now. He looks one more time at Luna, takes one of his daggers, and shoves it into his chest. one of the only remaining human pieces of his body. He cuts around the outside, letting loose the wires. You hear sparks and electric shocks. He shocks himself and drops the dagger instinctively. You can see through his cyborg flesh and wiring a human heart now exposed.
It beats in his chest. Thump, 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 thump. As he looks over at Luna standing there. You could be with us now. He hears in the back of his mind the do it. Kill her. Malcolm, be with us. Kill her. Malcolm. Malcolm? The voices begin to echo in his mind, and he finds himself jumping from one set to the other, his mind just flipping between the two options as it races. And he had two daggers always, and in a swift moment, he plunges one into his own heart as he plunges the other into Luna. And both of them fall into the big stone basin in front of them. As he plummets and falls, the fall seems to slow. As he finds himself sitting upon a throne, looking down. An immense nothing extends in either direction. This blank white slate, save for a small door sitting at the bottom. As it opens, he just hears, what a surprise it was to open the door and come face to face with the Lord of the Galaxy.
Woo! Dude!
We made it!
We did it! Fucking hell,
Wow.
man!
What a weird story that became.
That was so cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I need to process.
Yeah.
Just what?
We were all so committed to that like soft world build.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yup.
Yeah.
We won't explain any of this.
No. But it's all canon.
I think you have to be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Is it bad that now I want to play like a futuristic D&D adventure in this world?
No.
Ah!
What a
Let's
weird
play some
brain seed for a
Starfighter. Let's
setting.
play some Lancer.
Yeah. Ooh.
If I have dreams about this, I'm blaming both of you.
You did it too. You broke
No, I
out the
did.
evil laugh.
No,
took
you're
it.
right.
You added the evil laugh and all the very, very detailed body horror
Yes.
carving away sections.
The
It's
Inspector
not-
Gadget finger.
Yeah, it's not my usual style. So,
It was
Yeah.
good. I
yeah.
like it.
Cool.
Whoa.
Hope everyone in chat enjoyed.
Yeah, I hope everyone watching enjoyed. This is our first one of these. I had a blast.
This was so much
Yeah.
fun.
It's
Oh my
such
gosh.
a brain. It's funny. It's like a brain turner offer, but also a brain turner honor. You know, like I did not sleep. I'm running on like pretty little sleep, but I still wanted to do this, and now I'm feeling like
Yeah.
invigorated.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
I enjoyed. It's so interesting because like that little like flip the brain on, flip the brain off. The moment I was listening again, there
Mhm.
was head empty, only listen.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's the like our different styles. You know, that was that. I. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! But then
Yeah.
what? But then
But
what?
then what?
Uh-oh. That's what.
Uh-oh. Awesome. Well, thanks, Adam and Daniel, for joining me on
Yeah.
such short notice.
No problem.
Thanks
I
for
feel
the
like this
invite.
was a success. So
I had a great time.
we'll figure out how to get it into the rotation.
Yeah.
Let's just add some more peas to the plate. We're just gonna mix it all together.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful pea off. No, that's not
Split
what it's called.
pea soup.
Mm.
I mean, if you mix it long enough.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Split pea soup. I don't have closing credits for this one because I made that opening credits video earlier. But
Yeah. I mean, we
wait
can
the
just run the
second time.
opening credits again.
Okay.
That could just be the closing.
Bye.
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 Then what?
But then what?
But then what?